I do think there'll be a drip, drip, drip because you have the Gowdy Committee over in Congress, the Benghazi Committee, and others who are intent on dragging this out for obvious reasons. Whether anything will come out of it that could be damaging to her in this election, I really don't know, and I kind of doubt it. I think that what we know is what we know.
David Axelrod on MSNBC defending Hillary Clinton and her emails, saying we really already know everything we need to know. The State Department released a new set of emails Tuesday, and one of the 3,000 plus emails caught the eye of many on the internet. It features Secretary of State Clinton supposedly hearing about a cabinet meeting on the radio and asking if she could join in. The emails revealed it wasn't a meeting she had to be a part of, but it does really speak to a larger issue, just how connected and how involved was Mrs. Clinton in the Obama administration. For more, let's bring in our political panel. From Newsmax Washington, Ford O'Connell, the noted Republican strategist, and from Newsmax New York, Rick Ungar, senior political contributor for Forbes.com and the co-host of the Daily Wrap here on Newsmax TV. So, Rick, we'll give you the first crack at this. You got to admit, it's a little different to have the Secretary of State wondering aloud if she should go to a cabinet meeting, is it not?
Well, you know, as you dig a little bit deeper into that email chain, it does look to me that what happened was it wasn't a cabinet meeting at all. So I'm not sure if it was just miscommunication. I will tell you, though, JD, there are some things that I saw in that email and some things that they have now classified that were not supposed to be classified before that do give me some concern. I'm beginning to wonder about some of these communications with Sid Blumenthal, which may now be classified. And if so, it does raise to me a similarity between what happened with General Petraeus when he was running the CIA and the author of the book, who we later found out he was dating or something. And he actually was charged with felonies over that. So there are some real concerns here and things to keep our eyes out for. And this might get even uglier.
Well, Rick, we appreciate your candid assessment, but Ford, it is interesting to hear the refrain from David Axelrod being essentially no big deal. Your take on Hillary and these thousands of emails?
Well, it's clear that in the first year she had a very frosty relationship with President Obama, and she took the job not because they wanted to bring the party together, but because she wanted to be president of the United States in 2016. It's quite clear that she's a power-hungry person who's plotting for this. The other thing is it also throws a big monkey wrench into the Clinton narrative that Sidney Blumenthal was just some friend who she was, taking unsolicited advice from, when it's quite clear that she was part of her inner circle and she was running a government within the government with her own advisors, and she was trying to leverage power at every single turn. It really goes to her trustworthiness and credibility, and right now that's in the hole, and this just further elaborates on that.
Well, because of Hillary and the hard times she may go through, a lot of encouragement now from Democrats for Vice President Joe Biden to, in fact, run for president. A lot of folks in Washington think Biden could give Hillary quite a run. You see the article there from Real Clear Politics. Again to you, Rick Ungar, what about Biden taking on Hillary Clinton?
Look, I have always taken Joe Biden very seriously. He gets a lot of grief for the gaffes, and he does sometimes run his mouth maybe a little bit more than he should. But that's Joe Biden. And the fact of the matter is, if you get serious about it, Joe Biden is an incredibly well-educated foreign policy expert. He was a very successful senator. He's been a very useful vice president. So I've always taken him very seriously. I don't think he is all that anxious to run right now, but if Hillary digs the hole deeper, I think things become more possible for him.
What about it, Ford? 30 seconds on Biden running for president.
Three things I know to be absolutes: death, taxes, and Hillary Clinton's going to win the Democratic presidential nomination in 2016. That said, Joe Biden could cause her a lot of problems, particularly with blue-collar America, and he does have 30 years of experience in the Senate and is seen as someone who can be a power broker. So between Sanders and Biden, Hillary Clinton could find herself in some real trouble.
All right, let's go to another topic in the minute that remains. Macy's announcing that it's severing ties with Donald Trump after his comments on illegal immigrants. Rick, is this going to hurt Trump's campaign? 20
No,
seconds
I don't
each.
think it hurts his campaign. What it does do is it shows you who he is. Right after Macy's made their announcement, Trump comes out and says, well, I asked them to do that. I asked them to drop my line because it's small business for me, which is absolute, utter nonsense. I don't know why Trump can't help himself. Sooner or later, voters will figure out that this guy's off his nut.
All right, final 15 to you, Ford. 15 seconds.
America's changing. PC nonsense is running wild on college campuses, and everyone's hypersensitive about something, and demographics are moving at a lightning shift. Marketers aren't blind to America's changing, and basically they cut ties with Trump because there's too much money at stake to be tied to his rhetoric.
All right, you got it in there. Guys, I appreciate it. Rick Ungar from Newsmax New York, Ford O'Connell from Newsmax Washington. An invigorating discussion covering those topics. We're coming back.